Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind, these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are after market close on Thursday, December 23rd. We're going to do a check-in on SoFi. So SoFi continued to have a nice week this week, in my opinion. I know it feels relatively flat, but certainly in the face of all of the selling pressure and these several sort of like consolidate and retreat movements that it had within this channel, it's, in my opinion, nice to have left that channel and at least have an opportunity to be building something different. Now, it's looking like it's holding, as we had said previously, sort of two options. One, holding between this like 14.5 up to 15.5 level, or, if we want to broaden out the range here, this 1402 to 1557, which is holding up really phenomenally. And I think that it's positioning itself as well as it could be at this point, given the overall choppiness of the markets. And as we talked about in previous videos, it's had several days where it has really done well against broader markets and even a broader fintech space that has been selling off. And so I think it's really, really well poised, and I'm happy to see the movement for the time being. We want to sort of unpack the day a little bit. I wouldn't say that the MA played that big of a role today. It was sort of a bit of a VWAP day. So you see here, if you wanted to sort of look back and think how you might be able to play this in the future intraday, VWAP today, look at this, is one of those like really ugly charts, barcodey, but selling off this morning, tries first to reclaim the VWAP, hard rejection, second attempt falls short. But the nice thing here is it's a pretty quick pick-me-up, right? So that's always the concern, is like, okay, it had a full attempt at the VWAP there and touched it, strong pushback, double bottomed, made a second attempt, and it fell short. It couldn't even touch the VWAP again on the second attempt. So that's where I think you oftentimes will want to be very, very careful, because this could certainly go and dip further down in that 1473. But it had a quick pick me up here down to about 1477 or so. Yep. And so there you see, okay, now it's making higher lows and it's starting to trek back toward the VWAP, right? Brief reclaim, and then a retest, which is very, very common with SoFi. We've seen it time and time again. And then chop around the VWAP, probably algos taking out a bunch of buy and sell orders, tries to leave it again, makes a slightly higher high, right? So now you're seeing higher lows being made, higher highs being made, even if they're slight. And then another retest of the VWAP, basically twice, right? These two here pretty quick. And then a rejection off of there, a bit of a consolidation period, and then a nice leg up. And then this is where you're sort of like have some space. Now, it didn't move that much period today, right? So even from this level, this looks like a bigger move than it really was. Like this is just 15 to 15.19. It's just a 19-cent move. But nice to see that it had that stretch up there, came down, and then started to make a series of lower lows, lower highs, but was able to continuously hold the VWAP and push nicely toward close. And that's especially as the market was just sort of diving into close. The positions that I'm holding in my sort of short-term swing trade account really got caught in this this like really sad sell-off here at the end of the day, and frustrated me, to be honest. But nice to see that SoFi didn't give into that and didn't sort of pick up on that same selling pressure. Now, if we look at FinX, this also went relatively strongly into close. ARKF, sold off a little bit. So I would say it appears to me like FinX and ARKF, while they had actually a little bit better days today, they didn't go quite as strong into close as SoFi did. So that's nice. Now it's dipping a bit here in the after hours, so maybe it's making up for it there. Who knows? But overall, I think it was, a nice solid green day. I'm less impressed at this moment with the day, versus just where we are overall in the chart here. And again, this isn't because I think that we're sort of like screaming, roaring back to, recent highs. We have a long ways to go. But in the sense of thinking a little bit longer term, thinking a little bit, okay, how do we stop the bleeding? Get ourselves out of this selling pressure and get ourselves away from this downturn and give ourselves an opportunity to turn it around. It's doing the best it can. Now, as I'll annoy the bulls with this, but I feel compelled always to point out, just because it's consolidating into a little bit of a range right now does not mean that the next turn has to be to the upside. It could still consolidate and then range break downward and still have another leg down. That could absolutely be the case. So don't fool yourself into thinking that if you buy into a consolidation period that you're guaranteed to catch the next leg up. In my opinion, we need to see, is it going to break below 1402 or break above 1557? And even then, a break is not the be-all, end-all. A retest or a confirmation of support or resistance at either of those levels is paramount to saying, okay, now it's in a slightly different range. And all of these are just range bands, right? This is just different areas, different zones in which the price action is likely to move and likely to be drawn to over periods of time. So just a little bit of a PSA there for anyone who is maybe confusing or talking themselves into, okay, it's consolidated out of this downtrend, and so now we must be just awaiting a leg up. Obviously, I have a bullish bias, and I hope that that's the case, but I don't know exactly what the next leg is going to bring until we get a clear break of one of these levels, as far as I'm concerned. All right, folks, I think that will do it for this video. Just a bit of a quick check-in. I wanted to do so before the long weekend, and I'll probably, if my voice holds up, we'll probably be putting out some videos on other ticker symbols throughout the weekend, so probably plan to release some of those maybe tomorrow, and if not, Sunday nights, as folks get ready for the final trading week of 2021. All right, folks, I hope that you enjoy the long weekend, and as always, I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.